friends, hello, hi, how are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Hello. So today, first of all, I do want to address one thing. So I know in my last video I posted, a lot of you, or maybe the one before that, a lot of you guys were commenting that the video was too dark, like not heavy as a topic, but like physically too dark. And I do want to address it because I am currently trying to work on solutions for that. I've had ocular migraines and been getting like really bad migraines due to light sensitivity for a while, but lately it's been really bad, and I feel like every time I film in front of my bright lights that are behind me, I get a really bad headache, really bad migraine. So I am trying to find solutions. I'm trying to find lights that maybe won't be so intense. I've been playing around a little bit with having lights kind of like bounce off of walls back onto me. I've been doing things, but right now the best option is this one, which is what we're doing right now. And I tried to like open windows, and I'm gonna try to play around with the color correction on this video, so hopefully it won't be as dark, but I am actively trying to find a solution so my videos can be a little bit better quality, because I know when they're dark they're not great quality. So I did just want to say that because there was a few comments and I just wanted to make sure you guys weren't like thinking I was just like doing whatever. I really am trying to figure out something, but it might take a little while. So with that being said, today's video, it's a little petty. I'm being like a little petty right now. Basically I want to talk, I did a video like this a really long time ago. It was basically just talking about makeup packaging that I really don't like. I do feel packaging can sometimes make or break a product if I think it's worth the money, especially for very expensive products. I do think if you're paying for like an expensive product, you're kind of paying for that experience. All of this is just my opinion. It's really subjective, but I'm sure there's probably a few things in everyone's collection, if you have enough makeup, that you just don't like for whatever reason. I tried to pick products that I actually do really enjoy. Some of them I don't. But I tried to pick, for the most part, products that I enjoy the actual physical product, but it could be so much better if the packaging was just a little bit better. So that is what we're going to be doing and talking about today. And if you would like to stick around and see me be petty for 20 minutes, this one's for you. I guess we'll start with these because I feel like these are very trendy right now. Everybody's kind of buying these because they're new. These are the Fenty cream bronzers. I did buy these. I have the color Petal Poppin', which is kind of a lighter pink, and then I also have this more fuchsia color, which is Crush on Cupid. I've used Petal Poppin' quite a bit more than Crush on Cupid, just because it's a little bit more like everyday. My problem, I think you could look at this one of two ways. They're obviously very, 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 very small. I'll compare it to like a Fenty highlighter. This is a Fenty highlighter, and then this is the blush. Might be kind of hard to focus. You can see it is significantly smaller. And I think for me, they are cheaper. So these are $20, whereas the highlighter is $36, I believe. And I think a lot of people tried to spin this as a positive because it does take a while to get through a blush. So it's kind of like, okay, I can kind of understand how maybe you wouldn't necessarily need as much product. It's kind of fun to have something that's a little bit smaller. And I'm actually, the more I've been doing YouTube, actually, I used to like hate small products. I just think it's so annoying. But a lot of you guys have pointed out it's a lot better for the environment, and I think that's great too. However, what I really have a problem with is not that these are grotesquely small, because they are. They're so small. The big problem I really have with these is that the amount of product that you're getting in some cases is less than like sample products that companies give out for free. And they're still charging $20 for these, which is a lot of money. I am holding $40 worth of product in my hand. It still feels like these were way too expensive. I think what it would have been better would have been if they had larger options for the cream blushes that you could pay the $34 for, because people would have paid it, or had the option to get the mini size for like $15. Pricing these at $20 and making this the full size is just a little ridiculous to me, and I'm not really sure why they did it. When I use these and when I look at these, I definitely think that they are samples. They look like samples. I get all of the pros that people have listed and I don't disagree with them, but for me personally, I feel like paying $20 for this is way too much money. Kind of like what I said, I think they just should have given more options with these, and it honestly makes me not like them as much because I hate how the packaging looks. I hate how tiny it is. Not a fan. I was upset. I was sad by these because I was really excited. You saw in pictures that they were a little bit smaller, but I don't think I fully grasped in photos how tiny they actually were until I actually got them. They like literally, the palm of my hand is bigger. So this was the first one I wanted to talk about because I feel like I like the product a lot, but I wish it came with the option for a bigger size. And they shouldn't be $20. They should be no more than $15. It's ridiculous that these are $20. I love this highlighter. I want to say that before we say anything else. I really love this highlighter. I think it's so gorgeous. It looks like Facetune on your skin. Beautiful. However, the Benefit box packaging is like the bane of my existence. I feel like we're going from way too small to unnecessarily bulky. If this had an absurd amount of product in it, I would be like, okay, like it's got a ton of product. It makes up for the fact that it's like the size of a small book. And this is like a novella. Like I've seen novellas be thinner than this packaging, okay? It is just so unnecessary because when you open it up, there is a good probably 1.5 to 2 inches before you even get to the product, which drives me bananas. I hate it for storage purposes. I feel like they could make a very similar design where it has like the little box pop up, but they could cut off a whole inch and it would be 1,000 times better. And the thing is, I feel like they justify it because they want to be able to put that little brush that comes, I hate that brush, the little brush that they put in with all of their product that nobody uses, and maybe some people do. I've never seen anybody use that brush and is absolutely useless for the actual product. I feel like why don't they just give the brushes out for free? Like we don't need a new brush that nobody's gonna use every time you get one of these products, and that's the reason it's so thick, is so inside they can fit that little brush. Whereas I feel like once you take out that brush, as you always do, you're left with all of this extra room that is just so unnecessarily boxy and bulky, and I am just not a fan. I even love the little like packaging. Like I think the little cookie packaging is so cute. I think the product is great. I just cannot stand how thick this is. She is too thick. Speaking of too thick, let's just talk about this one. Because if we're going to talk about unnecessary bulkiness, we have to talk about P. Louise. This is the P. Louise Secret Sinner palette. This is unnecessary for an eyeshadow palette. I know you think I'm going to open this and it's going to be like, oh my god, they used all of the space, so what? They didn't. You open it up. It's so, there's not that much pan that it's this thick. The pans don't go down this far. All of this is just so unnecessarily bulky. And the thing is, I used to love this. I used to love big, bulky palettes because I just thought they were cool looking and I loved them. But now, and I think this is kind of a testament to like taste changing in makeup. Now that I have it, something like this just feels way too bulky. It feels way, especially compared to, I don't even know. I mean, even this, like this is the Moonspell palette from Lunar Beauty, right? And it's got a little bulk to it. It's, you know, it's not the most skinny packaging of all time, but even compared to this, it's so drastically different. This still is like super cute, super novelty, gets the point across. I would have understood if she still wanted like a feather component with the gold. It's just too much. And at first I thought, I was like, okay, maybe it's because this is kind of her first palette. That's why, but she just came out with one for Valentine's Day that is just as bulky and just as obnoxious. And frankly, I just wish it wasn't like this. I would use this palette so much more if it just looked like this. I love the colors. I love the formula of this palette. I think it's actually really beautiful. However, I don't use it because it's like a freaking event to get this thing out of my drawer. It's like I have to commit to fully taking this out. It takes up so much space. It's too bulky. Yeah, this is a little nitpicky, but it actually is something that keeps me from using the product as well. So this is the Urban Decay Brow Endowed little brow product. It has a side for primer. It looks like this, and it's got like a little, it's got kind of like white to it. And then it has also the side that obviously has like your normal brow color. And I actually love this. I think the primer does a really nice job of laying down all of your hairs, but they still look like hairs. Sometimes gels can kind of come in and make your hairs look like cemented, but like this primer does a really nice job of making your hair still look like hair, and I like the coloring added to it. I think it does a really good job of kind of, again, making your hair, it gives you that hair-like texture that you still want on your eyebrows while still filling them in and giving them some color. I definitely bought this on sale, but I know they were selling it for like a pretty decent price, so I am a little annoyed that it's so cheaply made. I don't know if you can really, I guess I don't really know how to explain this one. The actual applicator, you can see that mine is bent. It's not supposed to be bent like that. It didn't come bent. The actual little stick that this is on is so incredibly flimsy. It drives me bananas, because every time I go to put this in, why this is all bent and messed up, is because when you go to put it in, if you don't hit this little tiny opening absolutely straight on perfect, it screws up everything, because for some reason it's so cheaply and flimsily made. Like, it wiggles so heavily, whereas like I have other, like this is just my Sigma one, for example. All of my other brow stuff, look at the difference in thickness. Do you see that? Am I crazy? Look at how different that is. Where this, if I kind of accidentally don't put it in perfectly, it's not just gonna snap and bend over. This bothers me so much because I feel like it would not have been hard to just make the entire component slightly bigger so that they didn't have this really flimsy product. What this reminds me of, this little stick that it's on, you know those little spoolies you can get so you can like test mascara? I never use them. I would not recommend using them, but they do give those to you so you can test mascaras, you could test brow stuff. This reminds me of one of those. That's how flimsy this is. It reminds me of a disposable spoolie, which is a little, you know, for a brand like Urban Decay, for how expensive it is, I could let this slide if this was like a drugstore brand and, you know, they were obviously trying to cut costs with packaging, but for how much they actually charge this for, I think that's just way too much money. This one is a little petty. This probably is the pettiest one. I just aesthetically hate this. This is the KKW lipstick in 90s style. I have a couple of these lipsticks. I just aesthetically hate how these look. I'm not gonna lie. I thought in the picture that I was gonna love it, because I thought for whatever reason when I saw this in picture, how it's like clear and then you can kind of see everything through it. In the pictures, I was like, oh, that's actually really cool and like kind of different and pretty. Just aesthetically in person, it looks so freaking cheap. It looks like Claire's makeup, like it really does. And the packaging itself is all just like really cheap plastic. There's nothing nice or like any sort of bouginess to these, which I do feel like the KKW brand as a whole should work on that, because a lot of the other products I have for them as well, I don't have as big a gripe, but like for example, this blush is cheaply made. The packaging is very cheaply made, and they are charging like not horrible prices. Like the pricing isn't terrible. You're not paying for luxury products, but this probably cost them 50 cents to make. Like, I'm not kidding. It really looks like a Claire's makeup lipstick, and it's just, it sucks because I actually really like the actual formula of these KKW lipsticks. I think they're really nice and creamy and they work really well, but the packaging itself, aesthetically, I just think this is so ugly. I don't understand why she doesn't have her brand be a little bit more like luxurious and like matching her whole vibe, but everything about this just screams very cheap to me, very cheaply made, and it's for that reason just my least favorite lipstick to look at. Like, especially compared to, let's even look at like even ColourPop. I mean, this was $6. It's the Sophia collection, but it's like cute, aesthetically pleasing, nice to look at. They did something fun with it. We have Tarte here, cute, aesthetically pleasing, fun to look at. Even like a similar price, you have MAC, which is like cute, pleasing, normal looking, kind of cute. I think that's the clearness that makes me annoyed. The clearness just looks very chintzy. I thought it was gonna look very like elegant. It doesn't. It looks really chintzy and really cheap. There's no functional reason I don't like that. I just honestly think it looks ugly. This is the Patrick Ta Major Glow Highlighting Mist, and I was so excited to get this. Like, beyond so excited to try this because I thought it was going to be really cool. The idea of having like highlighter in a misting can just seemed so cool. I loved the idea of being able to like you do with the Dior Air Flash, which I don't have, but I always thought it was cool. Like, I think the concept of just being able to spray stuff on and then blend it out is really cool. And I quickly learned after watching some videos that it wasn't really made like that. You weren't supposed to like spray it on. You're supposed to spray it on a brush and then you're supposed to put it on your face. I don't know if I just have a defective one, because I've heard people rave about this, so I don't know if this is just a me problem. I spray this on so many different kinds of brushes to try and make this work for me, and it just doesn't. It just doesn't work for me. For whatever reason, I will spray this on brushes. I will spray this on my fingers. I've tried spraying it on a sponge and then dabbing it. I've tried spraying it directly on my face to try and make it work. And it just, I get nothing from this. I really do feel that highlighters just maybe don't belong in spray bottles. Because when I spray it on my hand, like really at close range, and I'm able to spread it in, it does look like a pretty formula. Like it's got a pretty, you can't even see it actually. It's not even a good product. This I guess is just a bad product, but I think that if it wasn't in spray formula, I would like it a lot more. And I don't think highlighters belong in spray formula. That's how I feel about that. Oh, this one makes me sad. This is the Summer Friday Lip Butter Balm. Love this stuff so much. I truly, wholeheartedly love this product. This is easily my favorite lip balm I have ever tried. It truly moisturizes my lips. My lips get very dried out very quickly, so I'll use other lip balms and it'll feel like I didn't even put it on 5 minutes later because my lips get really dried out and the product just disappears. Like hours later, I can still feel this moisturizing my lips. I don't know what's in it that makes it so good for me, but like I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna probably rebuy this despite the fact that this packaging has a major flaw. This basically does exactly what that Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer does, where when you open it up, you can see the massive amounts of product just caked around the edges from me desperately trying to cap it very quickly. But basically when you open it up, it just has product go everywhere. Product like spills out of this, and see, it already is growing. It's pushing product out. It pushes, so I'm gonna try to use this, but then you take that off and more starts spilling out. It just constantly has product flowing out of it, which sucks because I can't keep this in my purse or anything because it is just so messy. Like this part gets so messy and sticky that if I were to put it in my purse, I wouldn't be able to. I'm gonna try to use some of this. It sucks because I can't keep it in my purse or try to travel with it, because if I do, this part is just so messy and sticky at this point, it doesn't work. But what I do now is when I have to open this, I really mentally prepare myself. I brace myself. I open it up. A little bit comes out and I swipe it as fast as I can, and then I very quickly try to get this top on. However, this top is the most annoying top in the world because it's supposed to screw on, but it doesn't. So I end up wasting a ton of product. It ends up getting everywhere and gets really messy. What I think I'm gonna actually do, because I do love this so much, is get just a little empty cosmetic pot. I actually am finishing up a lip mask that I could probably put this in. So I'll probably put this in one of my lip mask jars, one of my empty ones, and just use it as that. Just like squeeze all of the product into there and then use it as kind of a jar balm, because I really hate how messy this gets. However, I really do, I can't stress enough, I think the formula on this is fantastic. I think you just have to know the first time you open it that it's going to make a massive mess or you're just done for. So the last product I want to talk to you guys about is this Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer Pen. First of all, I do not think this is full coverage or high coverage or anything like that. However, I would not use it to try to conceal my under eyes. I don't think it works very well for that. However, this is great for like little acne. If I have any acne sort of on my chin, which is where I tend to get some cystic acne, or if I have any little like pimples on my forehead, I usually will use this, and it covers them decently. It at least gets rid of some of that redness, which is kind of nice. But I would not consider this to be full coverage. That's just first and foremost. I really just don't like, and this is like a kind of learning product because I don't think I'll ever buy a product like this again. I do not like these clicky pen products where it's like you click it and that's how it goes up. I just don't like that, especially in regards to a product like this. When I'm using concealer, I don't always know exactly how much I'm going to need. So for a product like this, click it up even one click too far, I have no way of putting it back down. So now all of this product is just sitting there. It's constantly out. I have no way of putting it back in if I put too much out. And I also don't like that I don't know how much product I have left. Stick foundations, you can kind of like twirl something up to see where you're kind of running low on and then twirl it back down. Or like with eyebrow pencils, you can twirl it up and then twirl it back down. With this being unable to twirl back down, I find that I just don't like it. Even though it is decently good at covering up acne, I don't like using it because it's not fun to use because I don't know how much is left. I'm worried I'm gonna use too much and it causes me more, I sound so dramatic. I'm like, it causes me stress. It doesn't really cause me actual real life stress. It's just one of those things that I've learned that I probably just don't like clicky pen type products. Does that make sense? I wouldn't buy those in the future. All right, you guys, so that's gonna be it for me. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was kind of just funny and fun and giving you an honest critique of just packaging. Let me know what makeup packaging you absolutely hate. Obviously, Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer is always on this list, but I didn't include it in this one because my butter bronzer just broke and it makes me sad. But that is always one that people comment about, and that is always one that I will mention because that is probably Wynn's worst packaging of all time in my opinion. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was fun for you. Just some nice little makeup content. I love you guys so much. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, or just like, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media, and everything I am wearing on my face will be linked down below, along with a link to register to vote. That's right, you can click on that link, you can register to vote, and you be part of your democracy. It's like a super fun thing to do. And if you're not from the United States, that link does not apply to you. Please make sure you're staying informed, using your voice in a positive way if you can, because the world absolutely needs more of that. And social distance. Please wear a mask when you go out in public. Please. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.